Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Live. Hi, Cheryl. You are the first one on. You were on here early. Hey, sis. Hey, Kay. I know y'all are ready. Kay, I can't hardly wait to see the stuff that you're going to put in the comment section tonight. I know you're going to be having a whole bunch of stuff in there because I'm going to be reading everybody's comments once I get past the biblical stuff and then get into the, I don't want to say carnal stuff, but for lack of a better word, once I get into it. So yeah, I'm excited. So I'm just going to wait for some of y'all to come in and say hi. As usual, you're over there, Kay, on YouTube. And just like Cheryl, y'all are over there on YouTube. So welcome. Just waiting for folks to pop in. They're a little late tonight, but people are coming in. You guys say hi as you come in as usual. Welcome to Monday Night Live. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm trying to click on this. Hey, Tarkisha. Good to see you, hon. I asked you guys to share the broadcast tonight. This is really going to be something. Well, I believe all my broadcasts are something to share, but y'all know I'm going to get into it and say the name. And folks have been sending me text messages about it and making comments on the first post that I did. And I had friends talking about they're going to get their popcorn and everything. You said it's carnal. God is seldom invited into modern romantic relationships, right? Right. It's good to see you guys. People are kind of late getting on tonight. All y'all are over on YouTube. Oh my God, don't tell me this ain't nothing but the devil if Facebook is not working. Nobody is on here from Facebook. Let me see. Oh, there you go. Hey, Sabrina. I was like, wait a minute, nobody's on here from Facebook, but this journey to go in. Looking to see if I think that was a notification from someone else on Facebook. I thought it was for me. Yeah, something's going on. It's saying start the live video, so something's going on with Facebook. I don't know what. That's something's going on because people are not able to get in. This is crazy. Wow. This is crazy. We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. Is it possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook? We'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Please check Facebook to ensure the stream looks okay. If this continues for a while, try creating a new broadcast. Oh my God, this is crazy. So I'm creating a broadcast, but they're going to have to try to join from StreamYard. I knew something was wrong. Wow, like one of the great topics, and now they're making it a problem. You guys, they're making it a problem to broadcast from Facebook tonight. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. This is crazy. I think people are going to have to go over to YouTube. Yeah, something's going on. Wow. Hey, Linda. There's something going on with Facebook. Oh my gosh. You know what? What I might do is I'm gonna go on here and I don't know if I should like end this and create another one or not, because there's hardly nobody on here. Yeah, I see, Nelly. Everybody can't get on though. through Facebook. I'm going to go on Facebook and see if I'm on. Are you on through my ministry page, or are you on through my personal page? Because I'm looking at my personal page and I don't see it at all. Yep, I don't see it at all on my personal page. Let me see if it's on my ministry page. Oh gosh. Up all night, StreamYard, really? Yep, it's on my ministry page. So I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's on my ministry page. I'm gonna go on there and put an announcement on my personal page and tell them to go to my ministry page. For some reason, it's not showing up. So I'm gonna put an announcement on here like right now. At least that'll help boost my ministry page. We are live there. Or join me on YouTube. Okay. So I'm going to see if that will make a difference. Yeah, it's StreamYard. I know, Peggy, you said, man, it's crazy. Hey, April, cousin, there's something wrong. Of all nights, StreamYard is not broadcasting from Facebook, right? It's broadcasting from my ministry page, but not on Facebook. And it keeps popping this up saying we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Yeah, I know. View on Facebook. Let me see. Let me see if I can connect it this way. Yeah, it's not coming up. Nope. Hey, Allison, did you join me through my ministry page? Is that how you join me, or are you on my personal page? Because there's something wrong with the connection tonight. Let me know. Oh, you said notification only came up from my ministry page. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking about going off and coming back on at 8 to see if I can get it to come up. What do you guys think? You guys think we should just come back on in 20 minutes to see if I can fix it? What do you think? Hey, Herb. Hey, cousin. Are you guys all coming in through my ministry page now or on my personal page? Okay, Allison said just start here. I put an announcement. Yeah, Allison, I know you're on my ministry page. Herb, Herb and April, did you guys come through there in Las Vegas? Did y'all come through on my ministry page? Oh, you said ministry page. Okay. Man, that like, there's at least 250 people that join on my personal page every Monday. This ain't nothing but the devil. Because this never happens. You guys know this happened like one time before, but then people started getting on because StreamYard fixed it. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm going to, Sabrina. I'm just gonna keep on. I'm not gonna worry about it. I mean, there's about 50 people on now, and since I left a note on my page, so they'll go to either YouTube or come to the ministry page. Yeah, okay. So let's get started. It's the only thing when you don't have everybody, then that truncates the conversation because you don't have as many people. Usually by 8:15, yeah, there are some more people joining, but usually by 8:15, there's like, you guys, no joke, there's like 300 and something people on. Last week when we got off, it was 424 people were watching by the time we got off. So if you guys can tag people, since you're on my ministry page, tag some folks and maybe that'll help. Or either, and you know what will really help too is if you guys share. Because if you guys share the broadcast, then people can watch it on your page. For some reason, not being able to see it on mine. So that's what I asked you guys, if you can share the broadcast. And then that'll help. And then we'll have more people can join and watch it on your page. Oh, April, you said Facebook has been acting funny lately. They've been doing this to us as well. It's nuts, just crazy. Hey, Pastor Tish, thank you for tagging. Thank you guys for tagging, but tag and share it so then other people can watch it from your page since they can't watch it, on mine. Hey, Erica. Hey, Maxine. I know, Maxine. It's down. So that's why I'm glad you joined from YouTube. Great. There's about 50 of you on here now. Oh, Sabrina, you said your live has had issues as well. Wow. Well, you know what I'm going to do is once we get through, even though this beginning is choppy with me talking and going back and forth and doing stuff, I'm going to download it and then upload it to my personal page so at least people can watch it on the personal page later. So we're going to go ahead on and get started with things you need to know. And I just believe people will come in as we go because you guys, I see people are coming in. Thank you guys for tagging. Thank you for sharing so people can watch it on your page too, because there's like almost 60 people on here now with the public when you add the public in. So things you need to know. Okay, Donald Trump was indicted, as we know, by the Fulton County Grand Jury in Georgia on 13 criminal counts, including a RICO charge, which is basically being accused of racketeering. Racketeering covers a multitude of crimes by a group of people who organize together to commit those crimes. That's what racketeering is. And I know RICO, R-I-C-O, stands for racketeering, something ICO, but the ICO stands for something. I was going to write it all down, but I'm like, whatever, y'all can look it up if you really want to know. The district county attorney who brought the charges is an African-American woman. Her name will go down in history. Fannie Willis is her name. Sheriff Labott was quoted as praising her to be the baddest DA in the county. She's been labeled by her peers as the LeBron James of district attorneys. The LeBron James of DAs. You're now live on Facebook. Yay! Great. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you for telling me that. Because, yeah, I see the numbers are starting to tick up. Thank the Lord. Yeah, the numbers are ticking up now. So they got it fixed. Thank goodness. But anyway, she's the baddest DA. And that's who they're dealing with. And Mark Meadows is already trying to get his case thrown out of Georgia and put into the federal court. And so it's already started. The 98-page indictment includes 41 criminal law violations committed by Trump and 18 others. The charges outline a scheme to invalidate the will of the Georgia voters who participated in the 2020 election. They all have until this Friday to turn themselves in to the Fulton County Jail. She's charging all 19 people in one case. Now that's going to be something because she decided, hey, Carla, hi, Aunt Riola. We were late. StreamYard was messing up and we were all late getting on here tonight. But we're in here because I see there's 100 people on here now. Hey, Sherilyn. I'm going back and saying hi. Hey, Gwen. Hey, Olivia. Saying hi to everybody. Marette, you made it. Linda Whitfield, Avery. Yep. I see, April, that you're on both. I can't wait to get out there to Vegas. I'm so excited about coming. Yeah, there's some people that typically are on here that aren't on here yet. Hey, Braconia. I'm trying to catch all you guys. Go back and say hi. Had a good time with you this week, Erica. Last week. It was great. Hey, Ronaldo. Hey, Prophet, how are you? Kim Jackson. I'm trying to get all you guys to say hi. Hi, Louise. It's good to see you. Louise, you're on the ministry page. You can go on the personal page now if you want. But I know y'all can be on both. And Allison, you know, I always say hi to you. Allison, I'm not going to be in that meeting on Wednesday, I don't think, because I've been working like, I don't know what. And yeah, I'm probably, you and Daryl can handle it. Hey, Kim Jackson, Regina, Peggy, I'm so happy for you. You know the reason why. So yeah, I'm trying to catch all you guys. You were frozen on Facebook, back on YouTube. You know, but go back because it'll probably be okay. Okay. Yeah, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing, because that helped people too to get on Facebook. I think that really helped with you guys sharing. So thank you. But anyway, back to things you need to know. So to wrap it up, she's charging all 19 people in one case. That's going to be a feat. But what's the alternative? 19 trials. Who's going to do that? So she's going to have one trial with all 19 people. It's going to be a circus. 19 lawyers in the same room with 19 defendants. This is going to be the trial of the century. You think OJ was the trial of the century? No, this is going to be the trial of the century. So you know, we don't know if everybody has to turn themselves in by Friday. You know, Trump will probably make a big spectacle of him turning himself in, but here's the deal. They're making them come to the jail. This is unprecedented. First time ever. They are making them come to the jail, get fingerprinted and mugshot. So they're trying to decide if they're going to do that to Trump. Most likely they will not. But yeah. Hey, Gwen McIntyre. Some of those indicted will probably cut a deal to stay out of jail and throw Trump under the bus. Time will tell, but I tell you what, they read his bond. Fannie's not playing. She made him, this first time out of all 4 indictments that he has to pay a bond. This is the first time. She made him pay a $200,000 bond. And you know, 10%, $20,000, but either way. And there's conditions to walk and not be put in jail. He can't be on Truth Social. He can't intimidate witnesses. He can't have conversation with any of the other 18 defendants that are being charged. It's a whole lot of stuff they put in there. And they said if he violates it, then he can be detained, which means locked up. But at best, if it really gets crazy, the most they'll do is put him on they'll put an ankle bracelet on him, put him on house arrest. That's the most they'll do. Hey, Greg, it's good to see you. Hey, Jason, good to see you guys. So that's that with all that nonsense. You guys, I'm sure some of you are keeping up with it in the news, but I just thought it would be amusing to bring that up and let you all know what's going on. So I think 5 of them have turned themselves in this week and arranged for bond and paid it. John Easton's one. Who knows what Rudy Giuliani is doing? And he's the one who got totally world famous by using the RICO crime. What do you call it? RICO charges. Using RICO, you know, to get the mob. He locked up a lot of people in the mafia using the RICO charges for racketeering. So what kind of poetic justice is that? That the same thing that he took people to jail for, that's the very same thing he's going to jail for. Yes, I can see your name, Carla Monet Shaw. Yes, I can see you today, definitely. Yes. No, he won't, Ronaldo. I'm sorry. No, he will not. He already did what the Lord wanted him to do. He was supposed to get in there for the Supreme Court judge to stop the LGBTQ agenda. And he accomplished that. It was to get those 4 conservative judges in there. That was his purpose, his assignment and stuff. So I don't agree with you that he's going to be our president again. I don't. It's not because I don't like him. And the Lord has dealt with me about personalities that I have to be for truth and justice, meaning kingdom truth and justice, and not, for personalities. I mean, not, worrying about personalities. You said you just playing. Whatever, Ronaldo. Don't get me riled up, okay? Don't make me have to move to Canada. Hey, Dr. Cynthia. Hey, Gloria. It's good to see you. I said hi to my favorite Ann. I know she's still on here not too long ago. Yeah, I know. April, you said his own attorneys cannot even control him, period. Y'all talking so much and we ain't even got started. I'm going to have to stop. I know Braconia, FB is acting up. You can go to my ministry page if you're having trouble with it on my personal page, JA Journey Ministries, J.A. Journey, like going on a journey ministries on Facebook, and you can go over there and watch me as well. Okay, so Prophet's Cave, September the 2nd. That is in 2 weeks. About 50 of you have registered already. You know it's free. You will not get the Zoom link if you don't register. So I need you guys to register. Okay? And it's going to be great. We're going to be talking about the sign of the times. And there's going to be 3 of us. Hey, Alexis, happy birthday to you. Hey, T. We're going to be releasing corporate prophetic releases about what's going on in the world. Okay, there's 3 of us going to be doing that. And then there's going to be like a 10-minute presentation about the sign of the times. If you're paying attention to what's going on, I pray you all are. We're going to do a rundown and compare it to the correlation to the Word of God and what's happening. Are you guys watching California? Watching all of that water? I mean, the things that are happening are unprecedented. They don't happen. You don't, and then now they're threatening water to go to Nevada. You don't get floods in the desert. I mean, these things that are happening, you all, this is Bible. That's why we're calling it the sign of the times. And day before yesterday, there was an earthquake happening at the same time as the hurricane was coming inland. Exactly the same time. That's insane. Never even happens. Hey, Brittany, good to see you. Never even happens. Hey, Olivia. Yeah, it was a 5.1 earthquake, cousin April. Yes, it was. I mean, so y'all, the sign of the times are here. So if you have family members that are straddling the fence, or family members that you have been assigned to minister to in some kind of way, and you ain't got to hit people on top of the head with the Bible and preach to them to minister to them. You can it's just the way you live, the way you treat them, how you love on them, that will change them, how you love them. Love is the most powerful, it's the most powerfulest spirit on earth, is the power of love. And you can get someone to change their whole life just by the way you love them. You don't have to preach to them. You don't have to do that. Do you have any family members that you're assigned to love on, to do things with? Yes, Greg, love wins. And just so you guys know, Greg Whitfield, Greg, put the information in there about your prayer every Tuesday. He does prayer now. They're doing like online corporate prayer every Tuesday. So like put the information in the chat for people that want to join, like the number and the code. Hi Shima. I try to get these names right. Yes, Kim Jackson, love conquers all. Yes. So anyway, Prophet's Cave is the 2nd of September, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time on a Saturday. The flyer is pinned at the top of my page on Facebook. You guys know it's always there, so you can click on the link. And hi, Nakia, found you. Yes, Avery, but I'm back on that. Facebook started working, Avery, so it is on Facebook now. But I'm glad you found me on YouTube. So you can click on the link and go to Eventbrite and register. That's the only way you're going to get the Zoom link. Prophetic advisement. Thank you all. I always want to remember to thank you guys, because almost every time I get on here, I've had people that have done prophetic advisements the prior week. Hey, you guys still saying hi. And now there's 100 people on here. So thank you guys. So prophetic advisement is 45 minutes long. I get in prayer and hear for you. Hear what the Lord is saying. The first 6 or 7 minutes is your prophetic release, and I release what God is saying about you. And then the rest of the 45-minute session is we go into the advisement, giving you instruction, telling you what God is saying that you need to do, giving you advisement based on the gift that I have to advise and to counsel. When we're done, because it's all videotaped, you get the virtual MP4. I download it and send it to you. And there's people now that are, that just reminds me. Somebody said they couldn't find their video. People have been sending me emails saying, I've been trying to watch my prophetic advisement from 2021. And I had cleaned up Google and deleted a bunch of stuff, but I always keep them in my personal electronic files. So never worry, you can always still get a copy. So I've been sending out copies. Hi, Kenny Myers. You said my line was choppy in the beginning. It's fine now. Yeah, Facebook was messing up, man. But I'm glad you made it. So glad that you made it. I think you are like a first-time person. Yeah, you're a first-time person on here. I'm going to I know I hear something about you prophetically. And if I start, I'm going to go in to the prophetic. Oh, let me just release this for you, Kenny. You definitely have a strong calling. I hear the Lord saying you have a strong calling to work with men. You have a strong calling to work with men in evangelism out I see you like working in halfway houses, and I don't know a better word to say, but soup kitchens. Like, what do they call it now, y'all? I'm baby boomer, so I'm talking old stuff, but what do they call the soup kitchens? What do they call them? Where they go to eat and stuff? But I see that, that you have a strong calling to work with men, and you have a strong calling to work with young men and in ministry and out in the field and even traveling. I even hear the Lord say that you've got a calling even to travel over into third world countries and work over, and I'm hearing Ethiopia, that there's a ministry call for you over in Ethiopia. You guys usually help me out with the name of that. What is it called? Man, where you go and feed the hungry, like, just kitchens and stuff where you go to feed the hungry. You're going to be a part of that and even create that in a community. But you also have a calling, and I heard the word Ethiopia, a calling over in third world countries to minister and work. But the Lord has called you to work with men. You're in the mountain of religion, because there's 7 mountains. It's still called soup kitchens, April. Okay. But you are called to work in the mountain of religion. You truly are. That's not, I know that ain't Apostle Chi-Chi. That Chi-Chi? Hey, if that's you. But anyway, you are definitely called to work in the field. Your work is in the field. The bulk of your work is in the field, and that's what the Lord is calling you for. I just want to get that out right quick. So thank you, sir, for joining. Food banks. There you go, Peggy. Yes, I knew somebody would come up with it. Food banks. Yes, to work. You're going to create a food bank, sir, in the community to help feed the hungry. Yes, and those that are like living on the street and homeless. You have a strong calling for that, to work with the homeless and work with men. And you are a builder. You have a spirit of a Nehemiah. You have a builder spirit. I'm like going right back in it after taking you off the screen. But yeah, you have the spirit of a Nehemiah, and you're a builder. You're a builder of men, and a builder of men who have lost hope and have given up on life and want to commit suicide. You also have a gift to talk people off the cliff that are, dealing with suicide. What is it called? Suicidal ideation. And you have a gift to talk them off the cliff for that and to save them. You have a really strong calling on your life, Lord. So we thank you. We thank you for the release. We thank you, Lord, for blessing him to work in your kingdom. Lord, we ask you to supply every need that he has. Lord, we thank you that every need is supplied and met to be able to walk this calling out and to do what you have for him to do. Every financial need, every human connection need, every resource, we ask you, Lord, to supply it abundantly in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Okay, so prophetic advisement, that's part of it, releasing prophecy. And then I download it to you, like I was saying, and you get it. So people were asking me for theirs. If some of you can't find yours, just hit me up with the email or DM me and I'll send you a duplicate copy because I never delete those. I have every last one that I've ever done. The only way I would lose them if I changed computers and for some reason it didn't transfer over from the old computer to the new. But for the most part, I'm sure I have every last one of your prophetic advisements. And the last announcement, and then we're going to get into it. October, because you all know that I haven't really done a whole lot of teaching this year. About the only teaching that I really did was the new authors class, and we had a blast. Yeah, because all the other teaching, that was last year when I did a 6-week dream class. And then 2 years ago, I did a prophets class, teaching like a prophets 200, like a medium intermediate class for prophets. I haven't done any teaching in quite a while. So I did, like I said, the new authors class, and that was just one day. And that's basically all I've done this year, really. So I decided now that I'm done with school, and that's the one reason why, you guys, because I was doing my master's for the last 2 years. So I really couldn't do nothing else. And so now I've got free time. So the month of October is going to be called October.edu. And I'm going to be teaching classes every Saturday in the month of October. And it's going to be a different class every week. And they're going to be very, very reasonable. You all that took the new authors class, that's the price that it's going to be. So y'all will know. But I'll put that out later. But that's like, it was like really, really, really reasonable. And so one thing that I will not do is I will not charge to teach people how to pray correctly. And I'm going to do that in a different segment, not in October. But when we do, I'm going to do a class on prayer and teaching you how to pray. And I don't believe in charging to teach people how to pray. So this October.edu, September 1st, the schedule will go out. I'll have a flyer with the schedule and the 4 classes that'll be offered, and you can pick the one that you want to go to. 1 or 2 of the classes, several of you all have already been. So I don't know if you want to go again, but I'm going to have at least 2 new classes, maybe 3. I know there's going to be 1 that I'm going to repeat because I've gotten people asking for it. So that'll be September 1st. Look for that flyer with the announcement. I don't know what y'all talking about. You say get us together right quick. Talking to April. Okay, so you all, I'm ready. I'm so excited about tonight, what we're going to talk about. And now, this is the deal. I'm taking this off right now. I know you guys, y'all been talking already. So, whatever you got to say, you can put it in the chat, and I'll try to catch your comments and talk about it, make some, commentary on it. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to be really engaged. Okay. You said looking forward to hear about the topics. Yes. So, all right. So let's get started. I'm trying. I know I act like I'm stalling, but I'm like just so excited because this is relationships is always so good to talk about. So I decided that I'm going to do the biblical part first, and then we're going to get into the carnal part. And there's 100 of you all on here, a little over 100 of you guys on here already. So I'm going to just talk about how women were in the Bible, how women had, let's get it, cousin. I know, April, hi, Stacy. Hi, beautiful. It's good to see you. Oh, Glenn, why are you here? Yeah, when I get down to the part about y'all saying there ain't no good men, and I said that's the reason. If that's the case, the women are the problem. The women are the reason. I know you're going to get in there and say what you got to say. So just hold on. It's going to take about 15 minutes to get to that, to get to the carnal part. And we're going to start talking about why people say that there's no good men, which is a lie. But the ones that aren't no good, there's a reason why. So anyway, yes, Greg. Okay, so I picked 3 women quickly to talk about and to give you guys the backstory about how women had no rights or no say-so with men. Whatever men said went. Yes, Nakia, it's definitely a lie. Whatever it was, whatever men wanted, they got what they wanted. Whatever they said, it goes however they say it. Women had no say so at all. So I picked Abigail, and the reason why I picked these three women is to show you how their lives were completely changed with no ability to have any input in the turn of events in their life, and how you all women today, it's not like that at all. But a lot of you sit up here and act like you don't have any say so in a lot of things that happen to you in a relationship, and then you sit up and you blame the men. And I'm gonna do a disclaimer and some other stuff, because y'all ain't finna kill me, after I get done with this tonight. So anyway, Abigail, Michal, and Vashti. Those are the three that I want to quickly talk about. So the backstory that I want to give you on Abigail, how she ended up being married to King David, was, I'm just going to try to give the backstory and not read a whole lot of the scripture, but I have to read a few verses like 39 through 44 once I set this up. So David's men were going through a certain part of the country. I'm not even going to try to go through all the names and stuff, but this was in Carmel. I'll say that, like in Carmel, and was going through the country, and there was a whole lot going on before this, but they were looking for food, wanted to, get food. These men were in war with David. They had went through a whole lot of stuff, and they were going through this part of the country that Nabal owned. And he was a very, very wealthy man. And David sent them, because they had already been through there once, but they had not never talked to Nabal and asked him, since they had protected his flock from being, ravaged by all the other tribes that would come through there in war. They protected Nabal and Abigail's property and flocks. They felt like, not to say that they owed it to them, but they kind of owed it to them to let them come through there and glean some food and get things, like when they would come through that way, going to war or, going on different assignments. So David sent his men to go and ask Nabal, would it be okay if he, would he be in agreement to send them back with food and stuff? They basically went there and asked him to bless them with food and to give them grain and to give them certain things. And Nabal cussed them out. And they said, our Lord David has sent us. Yeah, Alexis, you found me finally. Our Lord has sent us. And he said, who in the HE-triple-L is David? I don't know David. Crazy. And cursed them out and sent them off his property. They went back and they told David what had happened. And here is where we pick up. So I wanted to set that up. And when David heard that Nabal was, wait a minute. I still got to finish. I'm sorry. David, when they went back and told David what had happened, he said, okay, no problem. We'll just go and kill him. We'll kill him, his wives, and just take it. We'll just take it. And last week, you guys, when I taught about King David, what was his blind spot? Remember, we talked about having a blind spot in life, and you need to know what your blind spot is. And his blind spot was power and authority. And so he told them, no problem. He won't give us the food and stuff that we asked for. We'll just go back and kill him. When his wife heard, they went back and one of the men told his wife, and she ran, saddled a horse, got some of her, because they were super wealthy, some of her servants to go with her, and ran to meet David before he got there, because they were on their way to kill this man and to kill her and to kill their servants, everything, and just take their property. She ran and gave them all kind of gifts. She had horses laden with all kind of food, wine, everything, and tried to make this quick. She met him, got down, bowed herself to the ground. You can read about this in 1 Samuel, and begged him to forgive the foolishness of her husband. Begged him, and then gave him basically triple of what he was asking for, and asked him, to pardon the foolishness of Nabal. And he said, okay, You said Abigail called her husband a fool and told King David not to kill him because he regretted it. Yeah, that's what I'm explaining, Gwen. So you guys can go in there and read it if you want to, because his name Nabal means fool. That's what it stands for. That's why it's so important, you all, to name your kids something that's not crazy, because the people don't understand how names are legacy. So anyway, David went back, told her he wouldn't kill him, that she was a wise woman, and he went back home. Now, here we go with chapter 25, verses 39 through 44. When she went and told Nabal what happened, he was having a party and a feast and everything that night. She went back and told him what happened, that he almost died and that David was coming to kill him. He had a heart attack and died. The fear struck him and just paralyzed him so bad when he realized what he had did. When she told him who David was, who this king was, and what he had escaped, he ended up having a heart attack and died. And so it says, and when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, "Blessed be the Lord, that have pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and have kept his servant from evil. For the Lord hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head." And David sent and communed with Abigail. Okay, so what does that mean? He went to bed with her and took her as his wife. And when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, "David sent us unto thee." So this was afterwards, and said, "Pack up your stuff. You're going with us because you're going to become his wife." Basically, that's what they were telling her. And they said, they spake unto her, saying, "David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife." And she arose, bowed herself on her face to the earth, and said, "Behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord." And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers. She had 5 servants. Them folks had big money. And she went after the messengers of David and became his wife. David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wives. But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, to David's wife, to Palti. Let me read that again. But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife, to Palti, the son of Laish, which was of Galem. So David's father-in-law had given his daughter to another man, because, you know, if you guys know the backstory, that David was a fugitive for years and years and years because Saul wanted to kill him. Okay, and so then before Saul died, he gave his daughter to another man because he hated David. So Abigail, number one, this is what I'm setting up, how women had no say-so in nothing. They had no say-so in how their lives went. They even had no say-so in who they could marry. They couldn't say no if their father gave them to somebody. The women had no authority, none at all. So that's Abigail. But she was happy, because if you read the story, she didn't care nothing about Nabal. He was crazy. And she was glad to be married to a king. So number one, she's gone. Her life has changed at the hands of someone else. Now, Michal, this is what happened with her. I'm trying to think of where I want this at. Okay, so when David came back and was looking for Michal, this is a whole different part of the Bible. Of Samuel, 2 Samuel chapter 3. I'm only going to read verses 13 through 16. And he asked where Michal was, and they told him that she had been given to another man, and that she was the wife of Palti, and they were in love. She had been living with this man for years. David had been gone for years, but he looked at it like, I did what her father said I had to do in order to get her as my wife, and nobody's going to take my property away from me. I want her back. It doesn't matter if she's with another man. Woman number 2, no say so. she couldn't say, I want to stay with this man. I'm in love with Palti. I don't want to go back with you. We're divorced as far as I'm concerned. Now, you all can do that today, but they couldn't do that back then. Kay, you said Abigail was glad Nabal was dead. Yes, glad to be hooked up with David. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. So the second woman, she had no say-so. Michal did not, well, she knows she was through with David when he was dancing naked in the street and she looked out the window. She was done with him then. She didn't want to be with David no more. At all. But she had no say-so. So verse 13 through 16. And he said, well, I will make a league with thee, but one thing I require of thee, that is, thou shalt not see my face, except thou first bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when thou comest to see my face. So that is another leader that he was making an agreement with. And he said he would not come and show himself in the meeting unless they brought his wife. That was a part of the agreement, that he wanted his wife back. And he said, except thou first bring Michal, Saul's daughter, when thou comes to see my face. So go get her and bring her with you. And David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, which was the only son, you guys remember, he was the only one left. Ishbosheth, Saul's son, saying, deliver me my wife Michal, which I espoused to me for 100 foreskins of the Philistines. And Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband. They sent somebody to this woman's house and told her husband, you're divorced. Pack it up, sister, and let's go. Took her from Palti, the son of Laish, and her husband went after her, weeping behind her, crying the whole way. As they were on the horse, he was walking and crying, wanting his wife. And finally, Abner, who was the head of the army, he was captain of the army, he turned around and looked at him and said, stop it, go home, return to your house, because you're not going to keep her. Yep, April, bye-bye. And that was it. Woman number 2, whole life changed. Had no say-so in who she would marry, who she could be with, what she could do. No say-so at all. The final person, third person, Vashti. Vashti was a gangster, the stuff that she did. Now, I'm going to read this from the Message translation. And the way this is set up, King Xerxes, which is that's he has two names actually. Xerxes is one of his names, and they have another translation. I don't think it's in the Message. Yeah, I don't think I have it in the Message translation. It's just Xerxes, but it's another name. Starts with an A. I forgot to put that in there. But anyway, he was having a party, and Vashti, Queen Vashti, was having a party. Vashti was having a party in her part of the castle with her women. They was getting down, partying, doing what they wanted to do. And the king was having a party, doing what he wanted to do. And so they had been partying for a long time. And I'm going to tell you in the Message translation what happened at the end of this party that changed this woman's entire life. This is the story of something that happened in the time of Xerxes. Xerxes, who ruled from India to Ethiopia, 127 provinces in all. In other words, he was over 127 cities. King Xerxes ruled from his royal throne in the palace complex of Susa. In the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all of his officials and ministers. The military brass of Persia and Media were also there, along with the princes and governors of the provinces. For 6 months, he put on an exhibit of his wealth, of his empire, how beautiful it was with royal splendors. At the conclusion of the exhibit, the king threw a week-long party. You think we can party? Who can party for 7 days straight? A week-long party for everyone living in Susa. I always say people in the Bible, we ain't got nothing on them. We are punks compared to the people in the Bible, the way they used to get down. So at the conclusion of the exhibit, the king threw a week-long party for everyone living in Susa, the capital, important and unimportant, everybody. The party was in the garden courtyard of the king's summer house. The courtyard was elaborately decorated with white and blue cotton curtains and with linen and purple cords to silver rings on marble columns. Y'all think about that. Outside, in a garden, all that type of splendor at a party. You got silver and gold couches and arranged and white linen drapes hanging on pillars with cords of silver and rings and marble columns. All this was at the party. It says silver and gold couches were arranged on a mosaic pavement, mother of pearl and colored stones on the pavement. This is the kind of money these people had. Drinks were served in gold chalices, real gold. Each chalice was a different type. There were no duplicates, you all. The royal wine flowed freely and generously. The guests could drink. It was open bar. They could drink as much as they wanted. The royal wine flowed. The guests could drink as much as they wanted. The waiters were there to refill every drink every time someone wanted another drink. Meanwhile, Queen Vashti was throwing a separate party for women inside King Xerxes' royal palace. On the 7th day of the party, the last day, the king was high on wine and ordered 7 eunuchs who were his personal servants to bring him his queen, Queen Vashti, resplendent in her royal crown. He wanted to show her off because she was so beautiful to the guests and officials. She was extremely good looking. But Queen Vashti did something that you don't never do. She refused. She refused. She said, "Go and tell him I said, no, I am not coming. I'm not coming." They went back and told him, she said she's not coming. And he lost it, completely lost it. And he called for his counselors and all of his experts in legal matters. And he called a meeting that night to discuss what was going to happen to Vashti. Kay, you said Rachel, she was given to Jacob after his tremendous sacrifice to get her. The Bible talks endlessly about Jacob's love for Rachel, but never ever mentioned any love she had for him. Absolutely. That's another example. So if you guys know the story, what happened to Vashti? When she told him no, it was over. They were instantly divorced. It was a wrap. And that's how Esther got on the scene. That's how she became the next queen. He started that night getting ready to audition women to be his queen. He asked all of his counselors, what should I do about this? She done told me no. She said she's not coming. And they said, you got to teach her a lesson. If you let her get away with this, all the women in the province will start talking back to their husbands and cutting up and not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You got to make an example out of her. That's what they told him. And so he dethroned her, took her off her little queenish throne and said, it's a wrap. You ain't going to be a gangster up in here. There's only one gangster. And so Esther, as the story goes, you guys have to keep reading on and on, she became queen. So the reason why I wanted to just open up with these 3 examples to show you how women had no say-so in nothing. They had to take whatever was dished out to them. And if they did say something, they paid a heavy price. You guys, we are so not in those days. So not in those days. So that is the reason why I say, when you sit up and say that there aren't no good men, if that's the case, women are the reason why. Okay? So let's get into it. Some things that I want to talk about, and I know we all are going to talk about it. Those of you who might choose to take offense, I'm going to say hello to all of my replay viewers right now. I don't know. You said that I'm frozen, you guys. Oh, I'm freezing. I know they're gonna learn today, Apostle Daryl. If I'm frozen, you guys, go over to. Oh wow, I'm down to only like 75 people. This is like really. I'm just gonna probably upload this and let people watch this over because I'm losing people, totally losing people because of it freezing. The only thing I can tell you all is to go on. I'm playing good on YouTube and I'm frozen on Facebook. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, you guys, if you guys can tell people to move over to YouTube, I'm gonna put another announcement up and tell them to move to YouTube. Or either I wonder, is my ministry page okay? Because my ministry page is working. So I mean, it's really messing up tonight. This is like crazy. It almost makes me want to quit and do it over. And your other page too, freezing up. Wow. They got to go over to YouTube. Yeah. Thank you, Erica, for putting that on there. Go to YouTube. That's all I can tell you guys. Or either we're going to have to just do this again. I know the devil don't want this message heard. Oh my goodness. Okay, some of you guys are coming over on YouTube. Yeah, Sabrina, you said you left the ministry page. Oh, this is crazy. Crazy. You can take the sublines off, Ronaldo. You can take those off if you're seeing that on YouTube. But a lot of you guys are coming over on YouTube. Okay. Well, I don't know. This is like, and then I want you guys to get in here and with your comments too. So let's go. We're just going. Chantel, thank you. She's putting the YouTube link in there too. Some of you guys, now the numbers are going back up again. This is crazy. This ain't nothing but the devil. That's it. So those of you who might choose to take offense, like I said, this is not directed towards anybody. You said give a couple of minutes, cousin. Okay, they'll move over. Okay, I'm gonna try to wait. I know, Gwen. You said dang, right. Thank you, Cynthia. When you said you put a message in there to come to YouTube. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tell StreamYard they owe me some money for tonight. The way that I've messed up this broadcast. Oh my goodness. So I'm looking at the numbers. Okay, the numbers are going back up, April. It's like almost 100 people from the public. So they must be going over to YouTube. Yeah. And you guys have put in the link. So yeah, the numbers are going back up. Oh my goodness. So again, those of you who might choose to take offense, I advise you to unclench your teeth now and relax, or else you are not going to make it through this video, the rest of this video, okay? What we finna talk about. You ain't going to make it. Those of you who say, like, how can I sit up and talk about relationships? Because I talk to men. Mostly everything that you all will hear me say, I have either gotten it by listening to a man or by having conversations with men. I don't talk to women when I want to know how men think. I'm speaking from experience and tons of hours of conversation with men about men. Okay? I tell you all the time, don't put your private business on social media. So nobody knows if I'm dating or not. Nobody knows if I'm qualified or not to talk about relationships, because I don't put my personal business on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You would never know. You would never know. So I have had hours and hours of conversation with men to talk to men about how men think, and listening to men even exposing a lot of stuff about the reasons why women sit up and say that there's no good men. So I'm going to put this disclaimer out too before I start with this first thing that I want to open up with. If you are in my family and you're watching this video, this is not about you. This is my disclaimer, y'all. If you hear something and you think I'm talking about you, I'm telling you right now, I am not. If you're my friend and you watch this video, I am not talking about you. And if you are my foe and you're watching this video, I am not talking about you. None of this is about anybody that knows me. None of this. Now, do we get information and glean from experiences that we have with people? Of course. But I'm not on here talking about your business, so you can relax. Gwen, you said I grew up with 3 brothers and my late husband told me a lot. Absolutely. So to open up, when a man first meets you, now I'm telling you all what men have told me, okay? When a man first meets you, in a very short time, he knows who you are to him. And I bet you every man on here can agree. You can say, yes, that's correct in the chat. In a very short time, he is determined. I'm not talking about in a month he knows that that's going to be my wife. That's not what I'm saying. But when a man first meets you, he knows who you are to him in his life, where you're going to fit in, what role you're going to play, who he is determined that he wants you to be in his life. Upon a few days or maybe even days of being with you. Okay? You said, oh, okay, that would be good too. It might be better to do it that way. You must be talking about something else, T. So that's something that I wanted to get out right away. Chivalry is not dead. Now, let me say this. I know some of you, I'm not talking to none of you all that are on here tonight. When I say you, this is what you do. I'm just saying that as a general statement when I'm talking about women in general. If it hits, I'm sorry. You know, if I've been guilty of some of this stuff, which is the reason why I can even talk about it myself. But I am not trying to throw stones or talk about, you know, someone in particular. I'm trying to get that out for sure. So chivalry is not dead. It's just not required. Okay. One thing that I was talking to a guy just last week, and he said to me, I didn't do it because I knew she was going to do it. So why even bother? Why even bother, you know, to go ahead on and try to do it, because I know she's going to jump up and do it. So, and he said, and that's how guys are. If we tell you we're going to do something and you keep on doing it, he said, well, then we'll just let you do it. That doesn't make us no good or lazy. It's because you won't sit down and stop trying to do everything. He said, so I just let her do it. Chivalry is not dead. It's just not required. You don't require a man to open your car door when you get out of the car. Yeah, everybody can open the door when you're getting into the car. But you don't require a man to open the door to let you out of the car. You never required it from day one. So how you gonna sit there after you've been with the man for a year and you done got this bright idea that now you want him to start treating you on a different level, and he gets out the car and he's standing at the hood of the car looking at you, asking you what you sitting in the car for? You've been jumping out the car for a year. So how is he supposed to know that you want him to go around and open the door and let you out? It's your fault that he got out the car and was standing there looking at you crazy, because you never required it from day one. You never waited at the restaurant door. You walked in front of him. You never waited for him to walk up to the desk and say a party of two. You got your mouth open, already talking to the person that's standing up there. Gwen, you said, I had a couple of riders today, couples, and the guy opened the door for the female. I was like, okay, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. But you know what? It shouldn't even be a shot. It shouldn't even be a shot. And I'm going to tell you, there's a difference in cultures. There's a difference in African-American cultures versus Caucasian cultures versus Latino cultures versus, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, a difference in Asian, in Indian. It's a difference in cultures and the way you're raised. But when you say that there's no good men, the men act the way they act because of the way women treat them, the way women respond, what women put up with. He didn't have a job, and y'all listen, men. This is gonna sound like I'm bashing men, but I'm not. I'm just giving examples of when women say there are no good men. I'm giving examples of men that have done bad things and was allowed to get away with it by women. He didn't have a job when you met him, but you were sleeping with him. So why a year later, if he ain't working, you mad? He didn't have a job when you met him. And you started sleeping with him and kept on sleeping with him and kept on going out with him and kept on doing stuff and spending the night and paying for the trips and stuff. That's not his fault. You didn't require it. Yep, Kay, you said you get what you require. That's not his fault. How is that his fault? You expect to get what? Men expect I have seen situations where a man is getting everything that he wants without giving the woman everything that she wants. And I would sit there and say, but the woman is not doing anything differently to get everything that she wants. I have seen women stay in a relationship 8, 9, and 10 years wanting to get married. But what is going to be different? What is going to be different? You've been with a man 5 years, 6 years. What's different? You live together, or if you pseudo live together, you both of you get all the sex you want. I'm assuming you're sharing your life together. Like I told somebody one time, I'm like, what is going to be different after the wedding? That's not happening right now. What incentive is there to get married? What incentive is there to get married? And you all sit up and think about, well, okay, you talking about, so the whole big thing is just not have sex to make somebody marry you? No, that's not it at all. You're missing the point if you think that's what it is. I'm talking about people that have been in a relationship for years and years and years. And you're like, but I want to get married. But what incentive is there to get married? There's no reason to get married because you're doing everything as a wife. You're doing everything as a wife now. You washing clothes, you cooking, you having sex, you're spending the night together, or you halfway living together, you're going on vacations together, you're celebrating milestones together. year in and year out. So what is going to be different after you get married? There's no incentive to get married. That's why some people have I heard someone say just yesterday that they were going to have a ceremony and just say that in the eyes of God, I don't know how this works out, but in the eyes of God, they're married, but they're not going to actually legally get married, but they're going to have a ceremony and just, say that that's the way they're consummating their marriage spiritually. I'm like, people just come up with all kind of crazy stuff. And you say there's no good men. That's not true. That is not true at all. The problem is you've gotten what you created. So I told y'all this is going to be different. This is going to be a different conversation tonight. You have gotten what you have created. April, you said neither one of them has made a true commitment. Yeah, neither one of them has made a true commitment. You got what you created. And women, you need to be honest with yourself and don't say it doesn't matter if now I'm talking about you young women that are going out, on the dating scene. You're on dating sites, on, dating apps, stuff like that, trying to meet people. And you're saying it doesn't matter if the man is not educated. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have the same economic, level as he's not on the same economic level as me, doesn't have the same economic status as I do. You say, I just want him to love me and be faithful. Y'all, come on. I just want him to be my lover, my homie, and my friend. Stop it. That is not true. Because I'm going to tell you all the stuff that a man and a woman compromise on is going to be the very thing that both of them will not be able to tolerate 6-7 years down the line. It's going to be the very thing that they're going to hate. And it is nothing wrong. If you got a master's, I'm not trying to say that a man that has a GED is not good enough for you. You got a master's. This is what I'm saying. What do you want? Be honest with you. What did I say when I started that sentence out? I said, you need to be honest with yourself. If you're not one of those women that can deal with someone that is not on the same level as you scholastically, you need to admit that. Now, will someone call you shallow? That's neither here nor there. Doesn't matter what people think of you. It's what you think of yourself and what you want for yourself. Can I be honest as a man? Women these days, let me put this up here. Can I be honest as a man? Women these days don't play hard to get. They play easy to get. Some do. Some do. I've known women who have slept with the man on a first date, more than one. Slept with him on the first date. There's lots of women that will do that, Ronaldo, but then there's lots of women that will not. But then on the flip side, there's some women that play so hard to get and their standards are so strict that they just take themselves right out of the running. You said, one of my sons said, Mama, in your day, men got married because they couldn't have sex without the covenant, but now it doesn't matter. Most women will sleep with us. Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you, and it's no different in or out of the church. I mean, I've dated assistant pastor. He wanted to go to bed like within 2-3 weeks. Ain't nobody thinking about not having sex in the church, out of the church. They don't even think about that no more. Louise, you said it's like buying a car when you need one. At first, you'll take anything, but later you find out you could have gotten a luxury car instead of an economy car. True. So there is two extremes, Ronaldo. That's true. There's two extremes. But you got to decide what, you have to be honest with yourself and decide what it is that you want. You are going to get back whatever you have sown. I'm going to tell y'all, stop dating men that are separated. Stop dating men that are separated and saying that they're single. They are married. They are married men. They are not single. Peggy, you said, we are the only race of women that are encouraged to deal with a man who is not on our socioeconomic level. We get ridiculed if we don't give the nice garbage man a chance. That, going back to that, Peggy, that is so true. People, like I had made the comment about people calling you shallow because you've got a master's and you would rather date someone in your own socioeconomic status. What is wrong with that? Does that mean that you're snobby or you're, pretentious? I mean, what does that mean? The way I look at it, I will tell you this. For me, I am attracted to the mind first. You can be fine as fine can be. But if you dumb as a box of rocks, I'm sorry, we're not going to make it. You've got to be able to have conversation. You've got to be able to talk with me on an array of subjects. And politics, I'm not going to beat you up. But if you don't know nothing about politics, you don't know nothing about what's going on in the world and with the government, I'm like, what? I am attracted to the mind. That's me. So that's what I told you all. What do you want? Do you know what you want? To me, there's men that may not have a degree, but have educated themselves and are very intelligent, very articulate, and can hold conversations and keep you engaged. So you're okay being with someone that you cannot be, that they can't engage you on any level. Are you going to be good with that? You got to be honest with yourself. What is it that you want? And back to the separated men are married men, y'all. They are married men. Listen, you all know the reasons are the same. Me and my wife don't have sex no more. We don't even sleep together no more. I just laugh sometimes when I listen to these young women tell me the things that men say. And I'm like, it's the same story. So if a man is no good, it's because you allow him to be no good. It's because you're accepting it. If you're dating someone and they don't text you back for 24 hours, and when they do, it's like 8:00 in the morning and they're texting you, hello, beautiful. And because the word beautiful is in the text, you melt and forget all about why didn't he answer me for 24 hours? You don't require it. That's why. Cynthia, you said, why do a lot of older women, especially from the South, say she need a man around? I was told this years ago, but didn't agree. Is it still like this? You need a man around. No, it's not still like that. It's whatever you want. I would say it's up to the individual. Kay, you said, listen, I have been around a long time and women need men on their level or above, never below. It usually ends in disaster. Hey, there are some situations, I'm sure, where it might work, but I just believe they've got to be able to engage you. They've got to be on your level. Peggy, you said, meanwhile, the white girls encouraged to seek out the man that's rich, smart, and powerful. We, on the other hand, are told, get you a nice man. It's so many things that we're told. So many things. But I would hear the same thing from people that are dating somebody that's separated or somebody that's married. Or somebody that has been separated for 2 years. Well, why don't you get a divorce? And you out here sleeping with women. And you know why you're able to sleep with women? Because they're letting you do it. Back to the saying again, You say there's no good men, it's because of women. It's because of what you put up with, what you allow. You don't require. It's just like I said with the first example. You're sitting in the car waiting for him to come around, open the door. You ain't been doing that for a whole year. So why is he supposed to read your mind now and know that's why you're sitting in the car? When I first started making myself be a woman, and that's a very relevant statement. Making myself be a woman. What does that mean? Get out of the position of a man. How many of you have been on the plane and you got your luggage and a man has said, let me get that for you. Oh, that's okay, I got it. And you throw it in the overhead bin. Make yourself be a woman. I had to start, and it felt like cutting off my right arm because I had been in the position of leadership all my life. Why? Because I was in a family where the women were the leaders, the women were the heads, and the women made the decisions. The women, ran everybody's life, basically. I was raised that way. And to learn how to take a step back and let a man do stuff, it was very difficult for me. Just for me, I remember going on a date one time, and me and this guy were friends first before we decided to start dating, and it didn't work out. But he was like, when we get to the door, he says, he got very angry one night, and he like huffed and said, can I open the door, please? And I'm like, oh my God. I had to start making myself be a woman. And to stand there and wait for him to open the door, it was so uncomfortable because I was so used to just reaching for the door and going in. I had to start practicing being a female, being in a woman's position where a man can step forward and do the things to cover you and protect you. Cynthia, you said, God has been dealing with me about woman not being our feminine self and being too independent. Honey, let me tell you, Cynthia, and it's like we strip them of their power by doing so much. And we don't even understand. It's the little things. I had somebody in my family that, and I said I wasn't going to talk about my family, but this is somebody this is a long, long time ago, and they've been gone for years and years. Used to just steal their power. Get in the car and say they were going to the store and be gone for 3 hours. Men will steal their power in ways when you usurp it all the time. Yes, it's very, very true, Cynthia. It's a mindset that culture has promoted. Oh my God. When I say you have to practice being a woman, you have to practice being a woman. And even like when you say the culture has promoted and society, I can't tell you how many times, and this is no shade to, I'm not being racist with this statement, but I have been walking into a restaurant and a white guy, like a wealthy or a well-to-do white guy is in front of me. And he doesn't hold the door. He walks in front of me and lets the door slam into my face. And I have said to myself, if I was white and blonde, you would have broke your neck holding that door open. It has a lot to do with how we've been cultured by society as well, and our family. But we have to practice being a woman, practice doing things practice not doing things in the position of a man. Cynthia, you said the married man will lie about his marriage, but like we know there's nothing new under the sun and the devil has no new tricks. No, absolutely not. And why do you guys believe that lie that me and my wife don't sleep together anymore? I've heard that so many times. Or we sleep in separate rooms. We're together for the kids. The woman is just being dumb. And that's when I say that man is not a good man because she's allowed him not to be a good man. You have allowed it by sleeping with him, and he is married, separated or with his wife. You have allowed it. Gwen, you said, listen, I had to fend for myself as a sister. When I was dating my husband, he thought there was something wrong with them. I get it. You didn't finish it, so I don't know what else you were going to say in that. But I get that you had to fend for yourself. But here's the thing, Gwen, those days are over with. Now that we're where we are, you said, oh, you put on there, my brothers weren't protective of me. That's true. But we can't no longer hold on to the stuff that happened to us when we were growing up and the things that happened to us, you know, way back then. Now we just got to change. Now we got to look for something different. You know, it's not your brother's responsibilities to protect you any longer, and you can't have any do-overs. So we have to forgive them and keep going. Every last one of us on here got stories that we can talk about what our mothers didn't do, fathers didn't do, brothers, sisters, stuff that was done to us. But now you take control of your life. You take control of your life. Louise, you said women have turned into predators now when it comes to men. You know why? And I think because of the damage that has been done to them, you know, in the families as well as in relationships. That's why not the Gen Xers, because the Gen Xers, I believe, are really responsible for a lot of men doing what they do, because the Gen Xers have put up with way too much. They stayed at the party too long. They've let men get away with a lot of stuff. They don't require stuff. They don't. And I think what is it, women? Is it afraid that you'll lose the man? Afraid that he'll walk away? Yes, Ronaldo, it starts with letting go of the past and healing. Herb, you said, June, you need to do a panel, men and women, on this topic. Yes, I have done those before. I had 6 guys on here one time, Herb, and did a panel. But yeah, that's something definitely that we can do. Yep, I know, Louise, until the woman gets pregnant. Yeah, how many times does that happen? And I'm thinking, with all the birth control in the nation, why would you be sleeping with somebody and not using something and you're married? How insane is that? How insane is that? It just makes no sense at all. So I say to you all, you're going to get back whatever you sow, you're going to get that back. Before I got born again, I dated a married man more than once. What happened? When I got married, somebody was dating my husband. Whatsoever a man soweth. So I can only say that's crazy. Now, you get with someone and they don't take care of their kids. What makes you think that they're going to help you take care of yours? And they don't take care of their kids. They're not with their kids on a regular basis. And I'm going to tell you something. I have seen this I can't say I've seen it so much with men. With men, I've just seen more of an issue with abandonment. Some men, not all men, abandonment with their kids, and that goes all the way back to slavery, where that was instituted with, men not taking care of their kids. But then we've got awesome men that take care of their children, and they're just wonderful dads. But when I've seen it with women that put their new husband before their kids, or the man that they're with before their kids, and they don't spend as much time with their kids, or they, their kids are not the priority that they should be in their life because they're so busy trying to make a life with this man. Yes. We had access to the pill, Kay. You said Gen Xers were the first generation of Black women who had widespread. Well, maybe you mean widespread access to the pill, because I'm a baby boomer and I had access to the pill. But I do agree with you with the Gen Xers, and there's no reason for them to be having a lot of kids. Absolutely not. Gwen, you said, I meant like not opening the doors for myself, waiting to let him do stuff. But best thing you can do is ask God to show you who they are and look at how they treat their parents. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, we know that's an age-old saying that if you get a man that doesn't have a relationship with his mother, you need to run. And I would say it's the same thing with a woman. You know, a woman that doesn't have a good relationship with her mother. Now, I have saw that it's harder if she doesn't have a good relationship with her mother, but not as hard if she doesn't have a good relationship with her dad. That with a woman, we would just be handicapped in knowing how to operate with a man. But a woman that does not have a good relationship with her mother, I have found those women struggle in relationships across the board with men or women, because the spirit of rejection and abandonment, you know, from a mother is treacherous. And those women struggle in relationships with everybody. And if you're going to have someone cuss you out, it's going to be those kind of women. So a man that has no relationship with his mother, or a man that is, you know, mean to his mother or curses his mother, I suggest you keep it moving. And what I was on a minute ago saying, if he doesn't take care of his kids, what makes you think he's going to take care of your kids? What makes you think he's going to take care of your kids? You end up having a kid by him, and you all end up splitting up. He didn't take care of them. He's most likely not going to take care of the one that he had with you at all. You have within you that still small voice, or like those of you that maybe not be prophetic, but you'll say, my first mind told me. You have intuition about what's good and what's not good, what's going on that shouldn't be going on. But why do you keep putting up with it? Why do you keep staying there? Because you're afraid you're going to lose the man. That's the bottom line. You're afraid this is the best man that you ever got in your entire life. Ain't nobody in your whole life been this good to you. So you just put up with everything. You keep giving timelines and they coming and going. Ultimatums and there's no consequence. He know you ain't serious. You ain't going nowhere. You said also, when a woman don't have and have never had a relationship with their father, they tend to treat that man in their life horrible because of what she didn't get from her father. That's very true, April. I love your profile picture. That's so cute. That's very, very true. Yeah. Yep. Right. Peggy, you said hope. Yeah. Hope, just hoping. But I mean, that's the bottom line. You're afraid of losing this man. You're afraid that, and God forbid if somebody else come along and get him. How many times have we seen where someone has sowed and plowed for years, and then they break up, and then 6 months later this man marries somebody else and she reaps all the benefits of your blood, sweat, and tears? God forbid that happen. And that's one of the reasons why you all stay in there so long. I can say these things for number one, I've talked to a ton of hours with men, and number two, I've lived it. I know some of the things that you're doing and the reasons why you're doing it. The men that are inconsistent because you let them be. You make excuses for them of why they didn't come over Saturday night, why you got dressed for dinner and he didn't show up to pick you up at 7:00, and then he calls you at 11:00 with some type of excuse of what happened and why he didn't make it. And instead of you deciding that you're better than this, you make excuses for him. Or if you call him all day long and he doesn't answer the phone, you make excuses saying he's probably busy at work and he probably doesn't have his phone on him, or he's in meetings that he can't answer. You make excuses for him. I've done it in relationships, make excuses for why people are not calling back. I had someone who said a while ago that they went out, they were their girlfriend was gone for a whole week on vacation. I mean, on a work trip. And during that whole week, she didn't call him. And he was like, just beside himself, like, why didn't she call me? Y'all, I'm silent because you think about yourself in a relationship and you're with somebody and you go a whole week and don't call them. What does that say about the relationship? That person is not into you, really. They don't value you. I mean, men are natural born hunters. Now, this was a man saying this about a woman, but men are natural born hunters. And when they find something they want, that they value, that they love, that they want to be with, they're going to show it continually, consistently. You're not going to never have to guess where you stand, who you are, what your title is, where you fit. You're not going to have to guess. And when you have to guess, you're not in that space with him. You're not that person with him. You're not. Yeah, Catrice, they're not interested in you. April, you said women make these excuses out of desperation. They don't want to be alone, so they accept this behavior. 100%. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Don't want to be alone, afraid they're going to lose a man. You know, this is the best man they've ever gotten, so they're just going to hang in there. Yeah. This particular couple that I'm thinking of, the man is dead, so I can say this. This woman stayed with this man for decades, and this man cheated on her for decades. And by the time he was all used up and wanted to be faithful to her, nobody else wanted him. And she hung in there all that time. Why would anybody do that? The best man I ever had, a song. Yes, Peggy. So consistency is so important. Someone asked me when I was dating a guy a while ago, and I said that I'm not going to be talking about people, but this is just an example. They said, and I'm saying something favorable. They said, what did I like about him? And I said, he's consistent. Like, name one of the things I liked about him. I said, if he says he's going to call, he calls. He's always where he says he's going to be. If I call him and he says he's going to be at home, he's at home. Consistency. If he says we're going to go out on Friday at 10 o'clock to go do something, he's there. That consistency is so important. So if men are inconsistent, it's because you allow them to be inconsistent. A man learns your love language, but refuses to do it. How do you handle that? You feel like in time he's going to change? That he's going to change, right? You guys have had conversation about your love language, and you say your love language is affection. That's your love language. But he tells you he ain't gonna never do that. That he don't get down like that. He doesn't like that. And he especially don't like PDA. That's out of the question. So how are you gonna handle that? Are you gonna stay in that relationship and say, oh, he'll probably change, which is what most people do, right? Louise, you said move on. Yep. If you are somebody that requires affection, I'm telling you, If you get with someone that refuses to be affectionate, you are going to have a very hard time with that person. You're going to have, Louise said, move on. Absolutely. That relationship is going to struggle. Gonna struggle. Here's something else. You start dating a guy or a woman, and in 2 weeks, you find out that they're Jehovah's Witness, and you're a Christian who believes in the Trinity, and they do not believe in the Trinity. But you are wild about this person. What are you going to do? They don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in the Trinity. And this person is a staunch Jehovah's Witness. What are you going to do? I only know one couple where one person was Church of God in Christ and the other person was Baptist, and they made it work. But how are you going to make it work with someone that doesn't believe in Jesus at all? Kay says, leave his behind. Peggy, you said unequally yoked, right? Catrice, don't waste your time. But this is the very things and stuff, you all, that make people be in jacked up relationships. People, we can look, this stuff is not affecting us, so we can give the answer quickly and say, move on. Don't be with them, drop them, da 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 da. But when you're in it and you've met somebody that's fine, that's got the mind, that has a great income, you click in every other way, you ain't gonna walk away. Half of y'all on here talking about bye, leave them, da da da. I'm telling you, you will have a struggle. I'm talking about all y'all single people. You will have a struggle. If I'm talking about you 2 weeks later, after you halfway locked and loaded with your mind and how you feel about them, and then you find out that they got this crazy religion going on. It's absolutely a deal breaker. Absolutely. Herb, you said, correct. What did Peggy say? Oh, unequally yoked. Yes, you definitely are unequally yoked. And I'm going to tell y'all, you know it's not going to work out. But we're talking about being in relationships, knowing the things you should do, and you don't do it. Knowing the stuff that you need to stop doing, and you don't stop. Putting up with stuff that you shouldn't put up with, and then you're going to blame the other person. And it's not the other person's fault. It's your fault. This ain't this man's fault because he's Jehovah's Witness. It's your fault because you stayed with him and knew that a year later you're going to be arguing and fighting on a Saturday night about why you didn't go with him to the hall. And you knew that when you met him that he was going to the hall. The law of attraction, y'all, is a real thing, whether you believe it or not. I'm on to something else. The law of attraction. What are you attracting? The law of attraction is real. Someone said to me the other day in a conversation, why they keep attracting broken men. This is I think was it 2 days ago? And they started saying, I need to reevaluate myself. What is going on with me? Why I'm attracting men who need to be fixed. The law of attraction, they say that men can smell a vulnerable woman like blood in the water, like somebody that they can take advantage of, like blood in the water. Yes, you are what you attract, her, for sure. And you think about where you are in life, what it is that you want. I think mostly with the law of attraction, it shows what you're attracting by what you settle for, what you agree to be with. That shows what you're attracting by what you agree to. what you agree to go out with, the invitations that you accept, the places that you're in agreement that you'll go to, even if you know you really don't want to go to those places. That's determining what you're attracting, what you're agreeing to. A man or a woman, because I don't want to always put all this on a man or a woman who is tracking you every minute of the day. It might be cute at first. Oh, he loves me. He wants to know where I'm at all the time. He's calling me every 2 hours. Most likely that person is an unfaithful individual. And they want to know where you are and what you're doing so they won't run into you. That's why they're tracking you all day long, every day. Yes. Kay, you said the bottom line, include God at the beginning before you get your feelings involved. But how many people do that? Think about it, Kay. How many people do that? We are older and we know what we want. Some of you on here that are in your 20s, I feel for you. And even in your 30s, I know it's hard. It is so hard. But once you get some age on you and some wisdom, you take a step back. The problem with youth is rush. You rush in, like the word says, fools rush in. You know, you in a hurry. I want to get married. I want to buy a house. I want to get property. I want to travel. Just in a rush. You know, we have to sit down and decide what we want as single people, men and women. What's a deal breaker for you? And then stick to it and say, I don't care how fine they are. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care how well they are versed. If they don't have the top 3 things that I have to have in order for this relationship to be viable for us, I'm walking away. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's so easy. And on another note, scammers, it's so easy to identify a scammer. You can find out, it might take you at the most 2 weeks to know if a person is scamming you. And all of you all that have a prophetic gift, that stuff ought to be going off like gangbusters. I'm talking about your red flags and stuff, knowing that if something don't feel right, it's because it's not. I'll go ahead and give this little quick revealing testimony where I met somebody 2 months ago, and it was going really, really good. And he lived in Colorado, and we met on a Christian dating site, and we were getting ready to get together and see each other. It was like I tell y'all, I don't put my business on Facebook, but I'm telling you, this is over. So I'm telling y'all this to relate to what we're talking about tonight. When I say, you should know when something's not right. And so we were getting ready to meet, and he was going to fly into Colorado. The week before he was supposed to fly in, all of a sudden, every day when I call him, he's in distress about something happening on his job, and that he's starting to have to work all kind of hours at night, and that they're wanting him to come to the site. Never once did he say he was going to the site, but they're trying to fix a problem on the site. Then the week that we were going to make the plans for him to fly here, all of a sudden, the night before I come back from an out-of-town trip, he calls me and says that the job says he has to fly out in the morning to the Gulf of Alaska. Y'all, I'm like, how did I get scammed? But here's the thing. All along, stuff was going off. Bells were going off. And I was questioning it. If stuff doesn't feel right, you all, it's not. When he said that, I immediately, I was gone. I dropped off the scene. Now, 10 years ago, I would have made excuses for him. I would have believed him. I would have said, oh, he didn't know that he had to go to the Gulf of Alaska at short notice. I'll just wait till he gets back. Here's the proof in the pudding, as the old folks say. If he was real, and this is what I'm telling you all, if a man or a woman wants you and they're real, they are going to do what it takes to keep you. If he had been real and I kind of like low key, not snap, but just politely read him in the email about how he was a scammer and I can't believe I got tricked. If it had been real, he would have did everything in his power to prove to me that he wasn't a scammer. He would have did everything in his power and kept pursuing me and kept calling me and eventually showing up and saying, I'm at the airport, I'm at the airport. So what happened? Didn't hear from him no more. Casper the ghost. That lets you know, y'all, if something doesn't feel right, it's not. It is not. And it doesn't matter if it's a Christian dating site or not. They're all a risk. Let me say that. They're all a risk. I know I already went through this one last couple of things that I was going to say about being a forever girlfriend. It's up to you what you want to be. If you're okay with being a forever girlfriend, a forever boyfriend, because there's women that don't want to get married as well. I mean, look at Oprah. She decided she didn't want to get married. That could have been a different story. Who knows how that really goes? But I'm telling you all, the moral of this story is people can only be what you allow them to be. If you don't put up with stuff, people can't get away with stuff. I mean, they done wore the phrase out that you got to have standards, but it's true. It is true. And I'm going to tell you, the worst thing and the hardest thing that I can say to all of you all on here that may be in long-term relationships, may have been dating someone for a long time, and you still haven't made a commitment to marry or whatever. Women or men, whoever is on the receiving end of the frustration, all I can tell you is you made your bed and now you have to lie in it. It's really too late for you to be frustrated about it. It really is. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you, because it doesn't even make sense to be frustrated, to be mad. You've been there 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to be mad. I was in a relationship 4.5 years. And then when I asked him where was this going, and he said it wasn't going nowhere, I packed up my stuff and went home. Never came back. But most people, the problem with most of you all is you don't want to take that risk. You don't want to, and it's like, then the other person doesn't want you to, give them an ultimatum, and then that's like they say, a Mexican standoff. Oh, okay, so you're gonna leave. So now all of a sudden I'm supposed to jump and get a ring because you're gonna leave. It's a whole mess, y'all, because you waited too late. That's the whole problem. So I don't have no advice for you because you know what you're supposed to do. You know what you should do. But hey, I don't know what to say. And then some people just convince themselves that they're good and they don't want to get married no more. And there's something that I saw on a social media site that is so true. The other day, this woman said people need to quit with the lie to single people, telling them get busy in your career and get busy in what your purpose is, and then the person will come. Forget about, wanting to get married and just get busy doing what you're supposed to be doing and whatever God has for your assignment. Just get busy working in your business and doing this and doing that. She said, when you want a job and there's a particular job that you want in a particular market, do you stop going after that job and then it's supposed to just magically find you? She said, no, you keep applying and applying and applying until you get the job and secure the position that you want. She said, so that is crazy psychology to tell people just get busy doing your life and then the person will come along. She said, that's just a bunch of crap. And I totally agree. Because most people that sit up and say that they're happy being alone, you don't even have to say that. You don't even have to, why do you even have to voice it if that's the case? Because it's not the case. I mean, it's just like people that be on Facebook raving over how good of a marriage they have and how much I love my husband and he's so good to me. You got the worst marriage ever, probably. Because you're on there trying to convince people because you know it's jacked. I mean, people that have things good and it's just like people that are rich, most of the time you would never know, especially by the way they dress. They don't advertise it. It's not even necessary. If you have a good relationship, you ain't got to prove to nobody that you have a good relationship. One thing that and body language gives away a lot. When I see a woman that is clinging and hanging on to a man all the time, she feels devalued by that man. She does not feel like she's really number one, that he really values her the way she wants to. And she's getting it. And she feels threatened by other women when they're out in public, whatever. When I see a woman that does that, you know, she's like making him look like he's the prize, all that body language tells you a lot about people. It tells you a lot. I saw that in more than one situation. He ain't hanging all over her and kissing and hugging all over her and got his arm all up underneath her. It's the other way around. That's because she's afraid you're going to lose him. She doesn't feel valued like she should feel valued. He's not making her feel important like he should. Because if he did, she wouldn't act that way. She would not act that way. Nobody else would be a threat. You don't have to worry about anybody else getting him. Not at all. So that is it, you all. This was like, I just really was disappointed with how this went because it was so much technical difficulty. Just so much technical difficulty in this broadcast. And that's what I didn't like. But I hope you got something out of it. I do. When your man loves you, you will be secure in that love. Absolutely, Gwen. That's true. You said I had that conversation about rich people just today about how they don't advertise they are rich. Nothing to prove. Nope, nothing at all. Nothing at all. So you all, that's it for tonight. I'm just really, again, so disappointed with the technical glitches with this. I mean, StreamYard, it wasn't Facebook's fault, it was StreamYard, because most of you guys are over on YouTube, so that's going to help my YouTube numbers, that's for sure. You said, thank you, cousin, for being so transparent and discussing this issue. You're welcome. I mean, I just feel like it would have been more robust if we could have got better, flow with the technology and we all was able to get in there, but oh well. It was whatever it was supposed to be. I'm looking forward again to being out there next month. I'm going to tell you all that I'm not going to be on Monday Night Live a week from today, next Monday, because it's my birthday weekend and I'll be out of town. I'm leaving Thursday, going down to Houston this Thursday. So I will be out of town. I'm going past Houston. We're going to Florida. I'm going down to be with my daughter first, and then we're going to Florida for my birthday. So you said the first thing that tells you is he ain't hers. Thank you, T. So yeah, so my birthday is this weekend, and so I won't be on Monday Night Live next Monday. I'll put up something as a reminder, but I'll be back the following Monday. So thank you guys for being on tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Herb. Yeah, pray for us. You said, I can't wait to see you. Me neither. I'm excited, April, when we come out there in September. So me and Naya, she's been my little roadie. She gonna come with me because Shelly got something else to do. So maybe you'll see her one day. I don't know. Thank you, Catrice. All right, you guys. Love you. See you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great night. Bye-bye.